So hello, this is Alma for the Managerial Coaching Certificate, and we are here today with
Mel. Hi, nice to meet you.
So today we have 10 minutes, and you are aware that we are recording this, right? And I'll be uploading this to YouTube. This is fine by you?
Yeah.
All right, and I'll be taking some notes. So okay?
Totally fine.
Perfect. All right, so you have this 10 minutes now, and we're just going to be focusing on you, your upcoming week. Is there anything in particular that you would like to focus on?
So I have a pretty transition coming up in this upcoming week, since I have my last class on Tuesday, which means my last class for the masters. I have to hand in like my last assignments, and then it's pretty done. And I kind of have to kill time till it gets me to Austria, and especially next week, I'm afraid that after I lost that structure of having classes, like getting up early, being in class at 9:30, that I feel like what to do with my new gained free time, but how to retain the structure.
Okay. And why is it important to you to hold up a structure?
Because I feel whenever I don't have it afterwards, I get regrets a lot, and I do feel bad about it. And I just cannot use, I feel that I haven't put the time that I had to good use, so I punish myself with relatively negative thoughts, which is just really not supportive. And I mean, since you have to be your own supporter, and I fail to do that consecutive, I feel like when there's a drop in structure coming, I just feel a bit lost.
Okay. But on the contrary, when you do have structure, how does that make you feel?
I think good. I feel that is useful, that I am useful, that the tasks that I have on my plan are at least leave me to something, and I'm not just breathing air and existing, but I'm also fulfilling tasks. I arrive at certain points, I meet people, so I interact.
So just to summarize a little bit, you're confronting a little bit of a change. You're getting into a week where you will maybe have the danger of losing a little bit of your structure because your semester is ending, and you would like to do something so that this doesn't happen, so that you don't get these negative feelings connotated to this.
Yeah, that's particularly true, but I also feel why do I feel so negative about it? There's a lot of people that just can't wait for studies to end to be finally, okay, I can Netflix until the whole day, or I can finally do whatever I like, but I don't have that sense of excitement towards no fixed deadlines. It's weird to formulate that way, but...
And why do you think that is?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I'm totally weird.
Well...
I don't know why I like this kind of fulfillment that I don't have when I have the structure. So I feel that I'm losing ground on something that I cannot be as spontaneously as I am I would even say that when I have a lot on my plate and I have to structure a lot, I'm more spontaneous than not having anything on my list, because then I don't even have the motivation to get up and get things going.
So I noticed that you used the word useful, that you feel useful or you don't feel useful. Now, if you have this time to work with, what can you do to feel useful?
I can prepare myself towards the upcoming challenging, namely a job search and then finally getting into the job, since I already done a lot about that, and I cannot really proceed anymore because once the application is sent, I have to wait for that HR manager to come back to me. So everything up to a certain point is something I could do. Other things are reading my 7th and 8th and 9th book, but there is not many books that I have with me right now, since I'm also restricted in travel weight. So the books I have right now, I finished all. It's 6 books, and it's annoying, but there's not much more to read, and I don't enjoy reading online. So even if I have a saved copy, I don't like to read on a screen. I definitely prefer reading in books. But then going to a library, I also thought about that. And putting up a membership and then have the details in it. It's much more of a hassle than would actually get me there. And I don't know where in Brooklyn what to do. And it's there's not the field of books that I'd like to see, I don't see in a public library.
So am I understanding correctly that there are certain things that you want to do, but you feel like there are obstacles in the way?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that could maybe help you or support you in this, in finding ways to overcome these obstacles?
I could definitely think about my boyfriend. That helps me with that. But also he has his own things. We're on a different pace because his job search is more targeted towards actually getting in without German. So he also has a lot on his plate. And I feel like I don't want to occupy too much time from him, and that when we have some time together, not down it with hey, what about our future? Because that is an ongoing and all around present topic. Other things could be occasional calls with my best friends and family at home, but they also living their lives and far too away to actually get that going. So I sometimes actually feel like I do have to do that somehow on my own.
So I kind of see maybe two challenges when looking at your scenario. One of them would be that you want to occupy your time, and the other one could be that you want to prepare kind of for this future step. If you would have to pick one or the other, which one would you like to focus on right now?
That I would like the first one, to go with things that I want to do to kind of get me positively through the day.
And if you think about positive things that you enjoy doing, what comes to mind?
I do like to spend time in nature. I do like to do sports. I do like to meet new people that are they have their own interesting story. Not compared to formal networking. Hey, this is what business card and this is cool what we do, but more of without any pressure, just a conversation with an inspirational person that has done something which is maybe completely off track from my personal road, but just to see. Sometimes that happens. I went to the store the other day and that girl was really, really nice. So we talked about some biases of men and women in meetings just out of nowhere, and that was really fun. I enjoyed that.
Okay. How could you include these positive elements in your upcoming week?
I could schedule gym appointments, so not one day I'm going to go there, but this is the special training session I could do. Other things is maybe really pushing me to a walk in nature every day, because Prospect Park is right around the corner. That could be something.
And how do you think that will make you feel?
I think it's I have to overcome my laziness to actually do it, because to get into it. And it's not about the task, it's more about the structure. So maybe to look what helps me, what satisfies me best, if I have an appointment in the morning or in the evening. So what helps me best through the day. And from personal experience, I would say schedule it in the morning, so then I know, okay, I've accomplished one structured thing in the morning, and then I can see what the day brings, instead of, I wake up and now I wait for my appointment at 6 p.m. So yeah, I think that would help.
So for the upcoming week, what you would like to do is to occupy your days with something that keeps you positive and keeps you feeling like you're being useful and you're using your days usefully. And some ideas for what you could do is, for example, to schedule appointments in the mornings and then be active in the afternoon, to involve your boyfriend, schedule gym, take walks, readings, so all of these different things. Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah, just have to do it and then see how the structure really upholds for the upcoming week.
Okay. And let's say, how many times, or how would a routine look like that you would be happy with at the end of the week?
Maybe when I have more the feeling of actually having accomplished something, been there, done that at that specific time, rather than time passed by.
What would give you this feeling?
If I actually go to those pre-scheduled things that I want to do, and that I do what I want to do.
And how many would they be?
I don't know, once a day.
Once a day. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So at the end of this week, if I ask you, Melly, have you done one thing per day that made you happy and useful and positive? That would be a success.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good.
How confident are you that you could achieve this goal?
I don't know. I do want to do this. And I think the only way to actually achieve is with pre-commitment, so that I sit down and schedule the full week out, or even 2 weeks. Otherwise, I will not do it. If I go from day to day, I'll be just like, oh, slipped, oops. So if I under the condition of my pre-commitment towards it, I'd say it goes to like 8 or 9. I mean, something could always come up. Like I had a knee infection and I could have. But yeah, stated the pre-commitment, I'm pretty confident.
Okay, perfect. So first step is to make a pre-commitment, make a schedule for the week, and then you're fairly confident that you will be able to achieve your goal.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Melly. This was fun. All right. Bye-bye. Hello.
Hello.
We are here for feedback. This is
Henrico.
We are excited.
All right. So I witnessed Alma coaching Mel, and this is my feedback. So I'd like the checkup in advance. It's okay if I take notes. We have a certain time constraint, so I've got 10 minutes, so you informed her about that as well. Very good. I would have loved to see a little icebreaker to get the conversation going and not go like straight to the point, hey, what can I help you with today? But then maybe that's also because of the time constraint that you did it on point. But then maybe ask a little quick, hey, how was your day or something like that. Then it went really quick. Okay, so what's going on? Why do you feel bad about not being able to keep this high pace up when everything in related to school goes down and you want to keep up that pace? Then you asked like a lot of clarification questions that I think were really good. So when you have structure, how is that? And then you very quickly summarize it to see if you're like on the right track. Afterwards, you ask, okay, also, why do you think? What are like the negative aspect of it, and why do you think it is a negative when you don't achieve that? Because she said, I'm basically not excited towards not having any deadlines, and I think that was kind of a breakthrough in that moment in terms of realization of why it is so important for her to have that structure. It's just to have something to look forward to, like a goal to work towards. And I think you handled that really well again with asking, okay, so why is that? Really trying to figure out what the meaning behind this is, if there's like a hidden motive. So I felt like a lot of reality questions, getting to know more about it. I would have wanted to see the goal clearly a bit more, because you did summarize it, and Mel did say yes, but because it was kind of broad in the end, I would have loved to see that it was sticking to that particular point. Which the goal was to find more high-paced structure in her life that she can maintain, and how she can maintain that. She likes to feel, she used the word useful often. It was good that you mentioned it, that you noticed it, and then you asked more like, so how do you feel useful? When do you feel useful? You summarize that again, another term, summarizing, good. Then you ask about people in the surrounding. How can that help? At that point, I think I would have loved to see something in the range of, so you feel useful, and is there a time when you didn't feel useful? When was the last time you felt useful? That you have like comparisons. What is the trick to make you feel like that, and when are you not? Like, what are the indicators? What are the triggers? And instead, you went for if there's anyone around to help. That's also not a bad way to go. It's just something I noticed. Then you summarized the two challenges you were kind of hearing over the whole conversation, which I thought was great because you were linking previous information that she mentioned to the current information. And then you question her about the positive things to do, what comes to mind when you get that feeling of satisfaction when you do something. And then you change it into to the option stage, like how could you use this in the upcoming week? So really making her think, like, okay, how can I change my behavior? And you made her think about the things she could do. You asked another, like, how does that make you feel? I feel like you use that phrasing a lot, and that's good to become more emotionally connected to the person you're coaching. And then you summarized again, asking if you understood this correctly. She confirmed it with yes. I think that was really great just to see, okay, from top to bottom of the conversation, this is what we're going to work on, this is what I would like you to work on, and you realize that yourself. I think it was really great how you handled that. And then you basically agreed on you want to have to do something once a day, like to an event or learning something or doing something, which was the will for the next session. So then what I found interesting was that you asked, like, how confident are you, like how much do you believe in that this is actually going to happen? And then she gave a lot of interesting remarks, because it was a relatively simple question, but the ranking, what it was in the end like an 8 or a 9 depending on the situation, but there was so much behind that. And then it's also kind of difficult. Okay, am I gonna go with it? No, I have a time constraint, and I have to take it into the next conversation. And that's always like, okay, is this gonna can you bring that? And I think the answer was really interesting, but maybe it's also hard to place it at that point. So maybe it's also a hard situation. Like I wouldn't know what you should have done or what you could have done or what I would have done. But I think that was an interesting turn of events. So that's why I really like the question in the end to sum it and ask the confidence question about how do you feel about finishing this up and what are the chances. So yeah, overall, I think you did a really great job having this grow conversation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.